This is the Monsters Incorporated factory, and it powers an entire city by harvesting children's screams. The biggest question is, how does this place stay organized at all? Because the entire operation is built around a door vault that, according to filmmakers' audio commentary, contains 36 million doors. But these aren't even regular doors, no. Each door is a portal that drops a monster into a specific kid's closet somewhere in the human world. But how did this magical technology come into existence? I'm also wondering how this fragile system even works in the first place when a single object from the human world can trigger a full lockdown in the factory. There are too many questions to answer here. So today, we're going to talk about how the Monsters, Inc. factory actually works. But before we go any further, let's look at the closest we have to an official layout of Monsters, Inc. We'll focus on the most well-known areas of the factory. At the front, you have the lobby. Here, you can almost pretend that this is a normal company with normal jobs, aside from all the monsters walking around, I mean. From there, you hit one of the seemingly infinite hallways that lead to multiple scare floors and other undisclosed areas. And it's somewhere inside this hallway maze that you'll find Roz's office.
Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Right next to her office is Scare Floor F.
All scare floors are now active. Assistants, please report to your station.
This is the only scare floor we see in the film. Like all others, Scare Floor F works only because it's connected to the door vault. This place is the spine of the company. It's where the factory stores and retrieves the doors that act as active portals to kids' closets around the world. Then, from across the scare floor, you have the locker rooms.
Oh, and thanks for hooking me up with those reservations.
Oh, no problem. They're under the name Googly Bear.
Here, the monsters presumably freshen up, or in their case, freshen down. Next, at the end of a random hallway, you'll find the boiler room, but you'll need to look more closely to find it. And finally, although the film never specifically explains where it's located in the building, you also have the simulation room.
Terminated. Simulation terminated. Simulation terminated.
So that's our layout for the rest of the video. Before we enter the building though, let's start with the outside. Does this place look like it houses 36 million doors? Unclear, but let's move forward. As we approach the factory, we're met with the company motto. That slogan is the first sign that something's off. But as soon as we enter the lobby, we forget about that for a moment. At first glance, it looks like any regular workplace. They even seem to celebrate their employees well.
Hey, fellas. Hey, Jerry.
Morning!
Monsters, Inc. is clearly fostering competition among its employees. So basically, it's like any other workplace so far. Even the workplace romance feels like a standard office sitcom.
Oh, schmoozy poo!
Googly bear.
Until now, the lobby seems like the most normal part of the company. But this changes once you start moving towards the hallways. One of the first things you'll notice is the hygiene problem. Well, it's at least unhygienic by human standards. The bigger hallway problem, though, is that there are too many doors that are never explored. It makes you wonder what secrets lie within the company. Most of these hallways lead to the Scare Floor network, but before we reach Scare Floor F, we pass a key checkpoint.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
At first glance, Roz looks like a miserable office worker who lives for paperwork, but that's exactly why her office works as the perfect disguise.
Hello, boys.
Turns out, Roz isn't only an employee, she's secretly the leader of the CDA. The grouchy attitude and messy files are the perfect disguise. Plus, her office is in the perfect position for her undercover work, right next to Scare Floor F. Monsters, Inc. has multiple scare floors, but Scare Floor F is the only one the film actually shows in action. Now here's what I'm wondering about Scare Floor F. We know that each door is a live portal to a specific kid's bedroom in the human world. So how does the factory know when a door is actually usable? Because a door is only available if the kid is home, in the right room, and the timing is perfect. But if the child isn't in the room, is already awake, or maybe even away on vacation, the scarer just sprinted into an empty closet and wasted a run. So either Monsters Inc. has the most brilliant scheduling department in history, or the door system is somehow running on real-time tracking. But this isn't the only problem I have with the scare floor. The movie portrays the door retrieval system as foolproof and reliable, but is it really? What happens if one of the doors malfunctions? That would cause a traffic jam, stopping the whole process until further notice. So that's one logistical issue with Scare Floor F. Then there's the contamination problem, which makes the whole operation even less stable.
George Sanderson, please remain motionless. Prepare.
A single sock becomes a company-wide emergency. Sirens go off, helicopters arrive, and CDA agents burst through the windows. They even shave off the fur of the monster in question. But the worst part is that production stops right away, which begs the question, how often does everything come to a halt in this factory?
Okay, people, take a break.
Which tracks, considering how messy and chaotic children can be. Clearly, they need a better system. And now that we've addressed the contamination issue, let's go back to the doors for a bit. We know the closet doors that appear on the scare floors come from somewhere, which leads to our next location. The door vault is the heart of Monsters Inc. According to the filmmaker's audio commentary, the vault is described as taller than the Empire State Building, about half a mile long, and large enough on a single level to fit the Statue of Liberty. Damn! Which brings me to my first concern. How does the factory index 36 million doors without making a mistake? Because you're basically shelving wormholes here. One wrong barcode could send your top employee into the wrong closet at the worst possible time. But fine, sure, the door vault is a catalog system, a transportation system, and a security system all in one. But if there are 36 million doors, what happens when new kids are born and new bedrooms exist? Do new doors magically appear? Do the workers build new doors from scratch just to accommodate them? Or do they try to recycle old doors to magically connect to a new kid's bedroom instead? We know that the factory shreds the doors of any child who stops fearing monsters, so do they do the same for kids who grow up and move out of the house? I have so many questions! But now that we've explored 2 core rooms in Monsters Inc., let's zoom out again and explore other areas of the factory. Right across from Scare Floor F, we have the locker room. This layout is smart, because placing the locker rooms right next to the scare floors reduces transit time. Inside, it looks like a normal locker room, except everything is more monster-esque.
Hey, can I borrow your odorant?
I'm sorry, did you just say odorant?
Yeah, I got smelly garbage or old dumpster.
Somehow, though, this isn't my biggest problem with the locker rooms.
What the? Wazowski!
As you know, Randall can blend into the environment and become almost invisible. And if he can, I'm assuming other monsters can too. But if this were the real world, Randall would definitely need to talk to HR about inappropriate workplace behavior. And it wouldn't be his first time either. If you're wondering where Randall is trying to strangle Sully, it's the boiler room. But you can't just walk into this place like a normal room. You'll find it at the end of a random hallway after pulling a lever, and then a secret door opens into it. So why is this boiler room hidden? Well, it's the room where Waternoose and Randall plan to use the scream extractor.
Where is he?
Or try to, at least. The craziest part is that they wanted to use this on actual children. So Scream Extractor is basically code for death machine. If Randall assembled a machine that large, how did nobody notice? I mean, sure, Waternoose could be covering for him, but isn't a boiler room supposed to be visited by maintenance and inspected regularly? Which means it's very likely that the factory's maintenance culture is so broken that nobody's been down there in years. Besides all that, the lever entrance raises a bigger issue for the whole layout. If one hallway hides a secret boiler room, it means Monsters Inc. probably houses other secret rooms too. This tracks considering there are hundreds of rooms the film never explores. So who knows what else goes on in the company that most monsters don't know about? Now that we've shed light on the dark boiler room, we'll finally talk about the room we're first introduced to in Monsters Inc., the simulation room. The simulation room is a controlled training space where monsters can practice before setting foot on the scare floor. It's basically the factory's version of a flight simulator, except the test flight is entering a bedroom and trying to manufacture a scream on command. Which is ironic given how monsters are the ones scared of kids in this film.
There's nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child.
The simulation room is staged like a theater set, with props, lighting, and a resettable layout that can repeatedly run the same scenario. There's also a panel of judges ready to review each monster's scariness. And yes, the whole thing is recorded, which is helpful for training, but the cameras serve a greater purpose towards the end of the film.
Let's watch my favorite part again, shall we?
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
The recordings started as a simulation tool set up by the company, and ultimately, they helped unveil the diabolical plan orchestrated by the CEO of Monsters Inc. But this shouldn't take away from the fact that the Monsters Inc. factory just doesn't make any sense. Each room has its own logistical quirk, which only works thanks to the power of movie magic.